Hi guys, we're flipping the script here. No sponsorship, just a single request. It's you who powers our mission. Join us in empowering founders, business leaders and entrepreneurs to build great businesses, increase their income and provide sufficiently for their families to make a difference in this world. A single ask I have of you is to please review and share this podcast. 1 minute of your time could make a difference in a fellow entrepreneur's life, so please review this podcast today. It'll make a world of difference to you, to me and our community. In our business we do things very differently. We believe in cultivating initiative in our team. We believe in cultivating proactiveness and integrity and positivity amongst our team and a learning culture. So, there's no ways I'll ever shoot someone down at the knees for suggesting something unless it's totally out of line. And yes, we don't apologize for our standards. Our Contractors Chronicles, welcome to another Contractors Chronicles podcast where we share our wins growing the lab of companies. We share our wins, we share our face plants in an authentic fashion that I wish other leaders would do in this space, because there's not much to follow. But I'm documenting my journey. It's my attempt to try and help resonate or reach out to other entrepreneurs in case they might resonate with my journey. So last week we spoke about the 7 pillars of success, and it really was a very deep reflection on my father's early death this year. He passed away this year, so it was just me reflecting on the learnings that he's taught me and how I've applied it in my life and how it's making a big difference. So what is in session for today? Well, first of all, we at the end of February, and I was just reflecting how far we had got with our goals, our visions, and what our wins have been for this month. We're at the end of January, so reflecting what worked, what didn't work, and what do we need to throw out the bus, what do we need to keep on the bus. And going forward, I've just realized how important our culture is, because that's what's keeping our glue together. We've grown a team, we've doubled in revenue from last year, we've doubled in team size from last year. We're doing some very exciting things, not only in the waterproofing space. We specialized waterproofing space. We've also taken what we are competent in, and we said, we seem to be doing something right with people. We seem to be something right with the customer experience. We're getting a consistent 8 to a 10 out of 10 for our net promoter score with our clients, and we're doing it richly, and we're getting feedback. In fact, I got a great feedback today, and again, it seems to be clients are loving the experience that they're having from the time they phone here right to the end, with when they close the job or they paying over their sums for the balance of their money. So that experience has been very rich. But what has been the win? Well, one of the wins has definitely been our culture, and I'm going to spend more time on it. So someone came to speak to me today. He was just discussing his future and where he's going, and I think all leaders need to be coaches. We need to ask more questions instead of telling our people where to go. So I was in the presence of a recent a builder who we were discussing a project, and one of his assistant project managers came and spoke to him, and he tried to share his bit about what we can do to remedy a certain issue, and he was shot down by the business owner, shot down at the knees. And I just realized then and there, there's just no ways this employee is going to feel motivated working for a boss like that. In our business we do things very differently. We believe in cultivating initiative in our team. We believe in cultivating proactiveness and integrity and positivity amongst our team and a learning culture. So, there's no ways I'll ever shoot someone down at the knees for suggesting something unless it's totally out of line. And yes, we don't apologize for our standards. There's no negotiation on our standards. But I just realized how warped the contracting world is. In fact, any business, you want to grow your business to start leading, or you want to lead your business or grow your business to lead without you, you're going to have a mental shift. Because growing a business, first you start off having a job in your own business, then you grow to being a manager in your own business where you're managing a team, And then, of course, you're growing into a stage where you're managing people. And this is where not only managing people, but you're stepping out the business and you're letting your team manage people. So those three areas. How many people can't make that transition from having a job to being a manager in your own business to actually being the business owner, where you can step away and say, right, we've got some systems in place, our team's in place, we've got a good culture, etc. And the business seems to be running a bit without me. Now, it's very tempting, I must say, to dive in and take over some tasks that I see are not being done well. But here's a benchmark that I use. So my benchmark is, if I can get someone else to do a job 80% as well as what I can, I'm going to give it to that person to do, because I can end up focusing on more highly productive areas of my business. And this year, I'm going to be spending focusing on 3 areas in my business. And I'm going to switch over to a little mind mapping program that I use when I really essentially brainstorm. And I want to share this with you because I think most entrepreneurs hit a stage in their lives where they're going to say, listen, I'm just feeling overwhelmed. I don't know where to start. I've got all these ideas. I'm not implementing. And the first part starts with the planning process. And I'm going to go straight over to that planning process with you and share what I'm going to be doing this year in a very high level way. But I think you'll get the gist of it. So, let's go straight into it. And I'm excited to share it with you. So this is a typical mind dump. You know, as an entrepreneur, sometimes when you're feeling overwhelmed and you just need to get your grip back a little bit. So let's just see. I've broken my year back into 3 areas: time, team, and system. So again, if I'm looking at my business, I'm saying to myself, okay, what is the 20% of my focus going to be? What are the 20% of the activities that I need to perform in my business that's going to give me 80% of the result? And just stepping back a little bit, you know, I realized that, okay, so I've grown the business, I've extracted a lot of time that I can work on my business. Now, what does on the business means? It means working on high hourly rate activities, and I believe these are high hourly rate activities. But first of all, I need to understand where am I spending my time, and this also applies to my team. Is where is my team spending their time? So what I do is a time audit, and I do just on a weekly basis, just for 1 week. I just say, what am I going to do from Monday to the next Monday? What am I doing every single hour of the day? Just write it down on a piece of paper or a spreadsheet, just put it in there, and you'll soon realize where you're wasting your time. So I was speaking to someone recently in one of the contractors that called me, just asked me for help in his business. And he said to me, I don't seem to be getting any traction with my contracting business. And I said, okay, well, how are you spending your week? He says, well, I mentioned a couple of things. I said, but nowhere are you spending any time on sales and marketing. And he says, well, I think I am. I said, okay, so let's go through Monday. And we went through Tuesday, and we went through Wednesday, and we went through the whole week. And eventually we found out that this person's probably spending about 5% of their time on marketing and sales. You should be spending more than 50% of your time on marketing and selling when you're growing your business to get traction. So there's a problem already. If you're not putting it in your diary, there's an issue. So a time audit, but that doesn't only apply to me doing a time audit. It also applies to my team doing the time audits to see what they're doing on a weekly basis. What is the 20% that they should be doing? They can be adding 80% value to the business. So a time audit, that's for all my team. Then we're doing team. I'm just isolating time, team, and systems. Those are the 3 areas, and I've broken down my team. So waterproof lab is I need to do an organogram. I've done that already, so it's quite cool. If anyone wants to see it, just send me a note in the comments below, and I will send it to you. If you comment below, that's the only place I really reach out. It's very difficult to comment to everyone when they reach out on WhatsApp. So please just send me a comment below, and I can send you an example of an organogram. But it's very important to work out what your business needs to be like and look like in a year's time, and who you're going to be putting in those different roles. So as you grow the company, and the same with my other companies when it comes to Poo Lab, Roof Lab, and Office Lab, and the office. The office specifically is more about who do I need from a support basis. So I need to make sure that I'm hiring the right people for support. It's questionable. Who have I got in my team that's going to be offering support, because as this team grows and as this team grows and as this team grows, my support's going to need to grow. So we've already spoken what that needs to look like. So we're quite excited about that. But essentially, if you come down to systems, you'll see job descriptions and KPIs. Okay, so I've broken it down to those three areas. So if you look at the organogram, and that's spelled incorrectly, by the way, but if you look at the organogram, it's probably still spelled incorrectly. We just pause for a second and correct. Okay, so it's spelled, there's organogram spelled correctly. So once we've identified what the organogram looks like, and maybe I should just see if I can bring one up quickly. Let me see if I can do that. So here's an example of one that's still in the making. We're still getting it right, but this is the one company, and you can see we've broken it down into different departments: finance, marketing, sales, operations, admin, HR, IT, legal, etc. And the point I'm showing you this is that there's different reporting lines, and each of these, we want to develop the organogram in such a way that we don't put names to the organogram first or to the different job titles. We allocate names after the job title. So we first form the organogram. We find out what does the business need to look like in a year's time, and who needs to fall part of that process. And then we, of course, we slide in which people we think can actually run this business. So we've got that process going, and I'm very excited about that. But the important thing is that we need job descriptions for each and every business. And we haven't had that in the past. We've had it very isolated, but we slowly working on getting job descriptions going for our team. And then not only job descriptions, we want to make sure that everyone is clear where we're going. Because if they're not clear, you're going to find everyone's pulling in different directions, and it becomes a whole mix match. And that's not what we want. We want everyone pulling in the right direction. So that's where we want everyone pulling in the right direction. And that happens with this clarity on the job description. So absolutely crucial that we get the job descriptions done as a start. And then we want to isolate or discover with the specific employee, we want to work out what their KPIs, what are the 2-3 areas that they need to perform on in their business to make a big difference on where the team and the business is going in the next couple of years. So that's essentially just my little brain dump that I use. And of course, I've got family there as well. I know that I need to work on my family and health again, and I'm going to break out different areas of family. I'm going to break out different areas of health as well and add it to my year's plan. But this is a very high level approach, and sometimes I do this once every 2-3 months again, just to keep it fresh. Where am I going? I just need to dump it down. Once I've got it down, I can kind of focus on where the team's going and what I need to do in the coming future. So I hope that helps. Gives you a little bit of idea, a bit of an insight, and I'm feeling pumped up. I'm feeling pumped up because I know when I wake up tomorrow morning, I know what I need to work on. There's lots of areas around systems, which I haven't maybe mentioned to anyone either, which is, I've got to put in controls. So there's more controls, especially with job cards. So definitely job cards. I need to do that. I want to be able to audit every single job that we do to find out what's the gross profit we made on each and every job after completion. Not what are we quoting for, but also after completion. Did we spend an extra 5-6 days in that job, or did we actually finish the job on time? Did we allocate the correct material? So that's been done, and that's a process that we're busy doing today, and it'll be in our 90-day plan. Next week, we'll try and cover a little bit more on the planning and implementation. Hopefully we'll cover areas around 90-day planning, which I think has made a big difference to our life. So that's just giving you a little bit of insight. I hope you like this. And please, guys, I rely on your feedback. If there's any way that you want me to focus on that's going to make a big difference in your life, drop a comment below. At the same time, we like to grow this community. We want to share it with like-minded people. For those who are listening on the podcast, please, guys, if you go to my YouTube channel, if you Google Contractors Chronicles and you type my name, Themi, Themi, Contractors Chronicles, you'll find the YouTube channel, and you'll find out exactly these little areas now that I share, the screen sharing and the diagrams and everything that I do. For those who are visual, my type. Okay. So thanks for joining our Contractors Chronicles podcast. And really, guys, thank you for helping us sharing and growing this community. We really do appreciate you. And next week is going to be another good week. Hope to see you on board.